part we already went through, but since Michael is not here, we're not going to do it today. We'll do it when he comes so he can take the notes. We are going to continue where we stopped last time. And we were at verse 28. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات طوبى لهم وحسن مآب 28 and 29. Let's listen to it.
Bismillah. Bismillah. Those who believed in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala and whose hearts find rest in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. Verily in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala do hearts find rest, tranquility, contentment. Those who believe in the oneness of Allah and work righteousness, Tuba, all kinds of happiness, or generally a name of a tree in Jannah. As for them, and a beautiful place is for them, and a beautiful place of a final return. That's 28, 29?
Yes, okay. Now, as last time we started this verse 28, I said this is the greatest treasure that's given to us. And we need to think about it, to take it home, to study it. It's a golden mine in this verse 28. And it has the following elements. One is Iman. And the second is Tama'nina, happiness, satisfaction, tranquility. And the third one is heart. And the fourth one is remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are four elements in this verse. And Allah put them together as an independent statement. Not just statement, fact. That this action will lead to this result immediately with no doubt, and it is guaranteed. Because Allah went back and confirmed, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. And so when we listen to the translation, as he said, the first quality, those who believed, have the oneness of Allah. And we cannot stress more that the key of light in this life is the oneness of Allah. Anyone does not know the singularity of Allah, he is a blind, or she. As Allah said, bluntly, he is blind. Because all his life will be based on confusion, misconceptions, action, behaviors, attribute, all will come from that concept. Who is Allah and how I am related to Him. And so there is no way that anyone can stress. The whole Quran stresses this fact. This is the cornerstone. This is where everything will come after as a consequence and fruit of it, is to know who is Allah and how you are related to Him. From there, that's you're going to manage your life, you're going to discover your role, you're going to acquire His knowledge, behaviors, attribute, contribution in this life and the hereafter, based on who is Allah and how you are related to Him. Now, this subject, inshallah, some other time we have it should take longer to explain it, but every Friday, every time we keep emphasizing this. If you don't know Allah, basically, here in this verse, and in Surah Al-An'am, in many places, Allah said, you are in dark, or you are really blind, not with eyes, no, blind understanding, and mentally you are blind. And we can tell the people around us they are really blind. They are not crooked, they are not evil, they are not atheists, they are not agnostics. They do not deny the existence of God. The only problem with them all, they just have no knowledge who is Allah. They cannot deny it. So they assume every one of them have made concept in their mind about Allah that is created from their own limitation and darkness. Just as we said, I am blind, and you come and tell me this is what is it. You explain it to me forever, but I am going to perceive something in my mind, mostly, sadly, far away from the truth. Far away from the truth. You tell a blind person, there's a masjid and has a dome and this and this and this. No matter how much you explain the rest of your life, the picture, the concept that is going to develop in their mind far, far away from the reality. And that is called darkness. And so, the key, that's why Allah said, hear who I am. Just He said, I am telling you who I am, just like I am shining the sun, and you can see things the way they are. If you didn't take it, you are in darkness. If the sun is not there, definitely, like at night. Once you see something, or you hear something, you come up with something in your mind, but most likely it's not the truth. Oh, maybe you hear the noise in the house. Oh, maybe the wind, maybe somebody knocking the door, maybe these, maybe. All of these are just guessing. Most of the time they are not truth. That's what Allah said. If you didn't take it from me in the Quran, whatever you have in your mind, absolutely, it's your creativity, your imagination, and it is not the truth. Yes?
I know what an atheist is, but who is somebody that's agnostic? Like, what's the difference between somebody that's agnostic and atheist?
What is the difference?
Well, what's an atheist? The atheist is the one who just outright denies the existence of God. And an agnostic is one that's not sure. He knows that there's something greater than himself, but he's not sure of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's in a state of agony. Deny or accept. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to do. Okay. So, here what we have. Allah said, I am giving you the best prescription and the best medicine to the main problem that makes a lot of problem around the whole world. Problems of our life coming from where? Is it coming from external world or from internal world? All problems of life, are they coming from the external world or from internal world? It's come from internal. All of this, we made it. All this problem here, we made it. So it started here, inner. We thought interest is good, we thought war is good, we thought nuclear weapon is good, we thought dictatorship is good, we thought immorality is good, we thought... So it started here. And then what is around us, it is man-made. Allah created the world in a peaceful way, perfect way, has absolutely zero problems. That's how Allah created the whole universe. And we started mangling, and with this wrong conception, what is here, we made all of this. Now division, war, hatred, injustice, poverty, this is man-made. Yeah? Sure?
So what it means that this is not reality. This. Is that...
What does it mean? if we fix man, we fix everything. That's what I mean, and that's what the verse lead to. If you fix man, you fix all these problems. But if you fix everything around, and man is still not fixed, nothing is going to go right. Okay? That is how this solution provided by Allah. Fixed first man, and everything around will be fixed. Everybody will abide by the law, will listen, will obey, will help, will assist, will refrain, will be cheerful, will care, and all this problem will be gone. But no matter what you do, increase the productivity and make the GED so much and cultivate and produce and manufacture, and human crookedness, still we don't have enough. Still we don't have enough. This is the verse we're saying, that the center of reforming, fixing life problem is man, human being. And he said, I have a very simple solution. You might think it is so difficult, but he said, no, I am the maker, and I have the cure that is going to fix man, and man, when it's fixed, everything will be fixed. You remember when Abu Bakr has become Khalifa, he appointed Umar to be the supreme judge. Just solve dispute and problems among the society. He spent 2 years in his office, never received a complaint. Then he started saying, suspecting that Abu Bakr wants to put him on the shelf. Because he said, 2 years I never did anything. You might just want to get rid of me. He said, no. People solve their own problem. They don't need really. It's just in case. But people knows what is their right, what is their duty, and just follow it. So they don't have to go to you. This is a good sign. Society was made by the Prophet ﷺ. Everyone knows what are their duties and deliver. What are their rights, and they take it. And so we don't need a judge. But as you know today, we fix the law and fix the law. If you just go to the court and see the family laws, volumes after volumes, and you can't even imagine. And the most destroyed things in this society is the family. Well, how come on all of these we can't fix it? Go to the court. Family's problem, just the judges, they are overwhelmed. They are behind to finish it. And it is coming and coming and coming, but you cannot imagine how many laws and instructions are there. They are not going to fix it. That is what called misguidance. If you fix the person, all things will be fixed. Very little things, you'll make it so straight. Okay, so this is the verse 20. Now all levels, just this is the big level, small level. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Now if we want to fix man, where we start? So we said problems here are really caused by men. And man, because of their concept, because of their, as I said, darkness or blindness about the fact who is Allah and how I'm related to them, they imagine creatively, brilliantly, this is the solution. But we have gone through it over and over and over, nothing been solved. Tell me which problem has been solved? Environment, economy, poverty. Which problem is solved? Wars? No problem. Families, moralities, raising generations, borders, drug smugglers. Which problem we solved? Absolutely not. But we don't want to. We just insist to continue the way we are. So The starting point in the Quran, according to the Quran, is men. And where from man, where we start? The starting point of man is their heart. That is where you start. So the starting point, the heart, will fix the man, man will fix life. From there, you can go on successfully. So here, now, what do you do with the heart? What do you do? How you fix it? This is what Allah said. What goes in the heart as problematic? One, concern, right? Two, grief. Three, fear. Four, hopelessness. Five, depression. Six, narrowness. These are main six. There are 12, but we don't have to go through all of them to give you as a clue. These problems, if I am overwhelmed with concern, with no doubt, it will be showed in my behavior. And it might lead to hurt and harm, myself or someone else. If I am in grief, it will show in my behavior. And my behavior is in interaction with the society, the whole society will be affected by it. If I am hopelessness, it will show in my behavior and interactions, and the whole society will be affected by it. If I am depressed, everybody around me will see it and get affected by it. And so, if I'm fearful, or if I'm taken by my ill desires. Allah said this is one of the main source of all problems, is ill desires. So, these are there in the heart. We got to understand. The heart is two sides, one filled with seeds, all their fruits harmful. And the other hearts filled with real good seeds, and their fruit are really good. And that is why it's just like us, like what we said long time ago, you need to weed before you seed. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, this is you start with your heart. You need to weed before you can seed. If you seed while the weed are there, this is the problem. And actually that's what we do. We come to the class, we listen to the Quran, we pray, but we never weed. Just throw the seed within the weed. And I have this illness and this desires and this hatred and this ignorance and this and this and this. So why you just throw the weeds into the seed, the seeds into the weeds, and that's why we are mixed. Sometimes we are like an angel, sometimes we are like devil. Because it's supposed to be the other way around. What is it? What is the kalima that you accept the oneness of Allah? What is it? How do you say the kalima? What is the shahada? Somebody wants to enter Islam, what do you say? La ilah. What is la ilah? What is la ilah?
No ilah.
So what does it mean? Weeds. That's what does it mean. First, weeds. La ilah. Get rid of all. And then what? Illa.
Except Allah.
Then you put the seed. This is the way it is, always. Unfortunately and sadly, if the heart like the cup, and the cup is full, and you keep pouring in it honey and milk, what's going to happen? We have the cup and it's full of something, but I'm pouring into it, say, honey. What's going to happen? Or milk. Or I collect nothing out of it. This is what the khutbah and the class and all of this is just like that. Because my heart is full, really. I just go because it's all right to go to the masjid, to the Jum'ah, just like anybody. But my heart is full, I am fully satisfied. So you come and listen to all of these and the internet and the video and CD. The effect and the traces. What is left are traces. Or the other way around, as Allah said, the worse than that, if this cup is upside down. Allah said, there are people, that's how their heart is upside down. Now you pour into it, what's going to happen? Nothing. And Allah said, we are all just these two, especially in the Quran. Either the cup is full, or very little space. MashaAllah, that I learned that verse or that hadith and go home. Or it is just some of them really gets in and leave the same way. Because the heart is just upside down. And so, that's what in whole Islam you need to work on purifying your heart. Have you heard of this?
May I say one thing, please? Why the cup is upside down, or why the cup is a little bit empty? Because of the society. We are in a society where we are not involved in Allah, and we are in this world with the materialistic matter or all those things, because we don't have time and we don't trust Allah.
Okay, we'll come to that in a little bit. Just let me finish those thoughts, and then we can get the verse, then we'll go to the all other implications. There is a science in Islam called science of purifying the heart. Whole science, many books, many great scholars have spent their devoted time to write and theorize and practice the science of purifying your heart, or my heart. And so, and now that is up to you, if you feel that you get nothing out of the Quran, you heard it, it's not the Quran has no effect, it's not anything else, it is your cup is full. Your heart is full of something else. And that something else, it doesn't necessarily to be evil, but it is full, it's weed. Weed, maybe they are not bad, they are not thorn, they are not poison, but it is weed. They take all the sun and the light and all the fertilizer from the land, so leave the seed no room to grow. And that's why whole fixing human being based on self and life purification. If anyone is unwilling to self-purify themselves and their life, nothing is going to make the big difference to them. Nothing. So, as we have learned, these are some of the bad weeds in the heart. And as you can tell today, lead to crime and mental illness. Because if somebody is depressed, hopelessness, failure, concern, grief, filled up with desires, it leads to other consequences. As we see today, what is it? They call it mental illnesses. Because you can only take so much. So we keep dragging and give them drag, but some they just can't take it anymore. And they take it on the others. Now, what is the cure for those? What are the tools Allah has given us to weed those weeds in our heart? This one. Dhikrullah. I need you to take this word and keep it in your mind. Dhikrullah. Remembrance of Allah. Now, what are the remembrance of Allah? Quran is remembrance of Allah. Salah is remembrance of Allah. and also Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, remembrance of Allah. These are three. Anything else is just something addition. But these are the main categories of remembrance of Allah: Quran, Salah, and praising Allah. Three. So how do you go about it? Which one is the best? Well, with no doubt, Quran is the best. Well, with no doubt, Salah also is the best. With no doubt, also saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar is the best. So how can I? The solution? To have them combined. How? To stand up in prayers, reciting Quran. That is the best dhikr. And especially if it is at night.
But Sheikh, if one remembers, reads Quran, prays all the time, but his amal is not what God has prescribed, then what good it is?
No, okay. That is not good statement, because Allah prescribed, as we remember last time, to you to choose your destiny. It is free, totally a choice to choose your destiny. And once you choose your destiny, you are going to follow certain path. Again, some Muslims, they mixed, as we said, destiny and what? What is the other one? Oh, forgot this? Destiny and journey. That's going to take me to my destiny. Some people, they mix this together. Or they think destiny is the journey. And we said a long time ago, in this class, these are two separate. As someone wants to go, remember the example? Wants to go to Washington, D.C., right? Washington, D.C. is their destiny, has been freely chosen by them. Now you want to go, your journey is going to be instructed, to be decreed, to be designed for you. It's not up to you. So these are two separate things. Allah never decree in you your destiny. And He said, here Jannah and here Nar, and it is your choice. Once you selected one, your life is going to be designed, filled up with decrees. Because you can't go to the destiny by yourself. Say, let's say, I am going to drive my car to Chicago. But you know what? I'm not going to go through the road. I'm going to go through the fields. From one field to the other. From one pasture to the other. What do you think of that? Must be crazy. And nobody will let me do that. What are they going to say? You get to take this road. And you get to have this needed. And you get to speed this speed. And you get to do this. And you get to have this. So now your journey prescribed. But nobody forced you to go to Chicago. Is that clear? Huh? Because this is something we don't have to go back again to it. So Allah did not prescribe on you to have all this wheat in your heart and weeds in your hearts. No, absolutely not. Allah said, I created your heart as plain. You notice plain? What is plain?
The best of mode.
Huh? Plain. Totally plain.
Clean slate.
Right. And you put whatever you put. Everything is you have put it in. But I made it qalbin salim. I made your heart totally plain. And you are in charge. What are you going to put? Just like the cup. He gave it to you empty. And give you the milk and give you the wine. You can put the wine if you want to. You can put the milk if you want to. Okay, so let's go back here. So we said the most effective way to weed illnesses from our heart and to enhance and fertilize the good things in our heart is remembrance of Allah. Maybe you forgot, let's listen to the translation. And this is the word of Allah. We are not making anything. And if Allah said, there must be, that is it. It's the absolute truth. Go ahead. Again, 28, Asim, sorry.
Alladhina amanu, those who believed in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala, and whose hearts find rest, satisfaction in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. Verily in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala do hearts find satisfaction, contentment.
What was that last statement?
Verily in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala do hearts find tranquility, rest,
do you hear
satisfaction.
That? Now, this effect, as Allah has certified and said, it is guaranteed. Now, but it has to be proceeded with what? الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Read it, all of it. It has to be on a platform. The platform is amanu, as we just said.
Those who believe.
That's the first requirement. Now, if iman is not there, or defect has in it, or not clear, or as I just said, my concept of God or my relationship to Him this way or that way, not according to what He revealed to me, then remembrance of Allah will not do any good. Will not do any good at all. It has to be based on first iman, and iman based on knowledge and clear who is Allah and who I am and how we are related. From there, it is guaranteed the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have not just small, not just significant, no, the most significant and effective impact on your heart. Well, and as we said last time, those Sufism, you know what is Sufism? Huh? What is Sufism? What is it? What they are doing? That's it. They discover this. That the remembrance of Allah affects. And they say, okay, we're going to do all our life just like that. We are not going to get into any affair of life. We'll just stay all time just remembering Allah. And they keep remembering Allah millions and millions and millions and millions of times. And they have no interest in anything in this life, worldly affairs. Well, that is not the right way. That's extremism. But also the other side is extremism, that we just don't remember Allah at all. We don't have dhikr. We know what is the main problem? We perform our prayer with very limited Quran. That is the main problem. You have to prefer your prayers with whole Quran, all of it. You go cycle after cycle. Start with Al-Fatiha, Al-Baqarah until Surah Al-Nas, and you go on and on and on. That's how you're supposed to. If you don't memorize it, then what do you need to do? The farq, do it whatever you know. But you have to pray at night and make nafs with some other part of the Quran. Now, let me give you this example. You come from home you go to work. From home every day you go to work, right? How do you go? Certain route you already established, right? And then because you have been doing this for 5 years, what happened to you?
There's a routine.
Routine, you never even think of it. Okay? It's automatically you feel you stop here, you turn here, and if you try one time to change, you find yourself in that way. Now, if you take different route every day, what's going to happen? You will have full attention every minute. Well, this is exactly the example of making salah with the same surah all the time, or it becomes meaningless. Absolutely has no effect. Just like you drive, just take yourself and see that you have been for 4 years or 10 years driving from home to work the same road. it's you do it unconsciously. Become just the parts of the body trained and memorize it. And you see your leg pressing the brake, then before even your mind why. Or you turn. This is what is it. If you always pray with the same things, it's just that the way it is. It become no meaning, no attention, no enjoyment. You are totally occupied with something else. Has nothing to do with the road and the detail of the road.
But Sheikh, may I say one thing?
Hold it.
Like you say routine, I agree with you. What about somebody really believe and say La ilaha illallah?
Well, in it, as we said,
like Al-Haakumut Takasur Hatta, and remind him, say what is your destiny, and understand and follow it, you know.
that is going to happen only when you read different Quran every time you pray. You are going to have khushu and you are going to memorize, you're going to remember, and you're going to think about it. But if I do the same thing all the time, many of us, many, they never think of what is Al-Fatiha because we read it all the time. Never, when we pray, we never think what does it mean. No, 99% of the time. That is bad. So that's why Allah said, one is fixed, but the other one has to be variable. And that's why He gave us this. So, again, if you want to find your Iman getting stronger, your behavior becoming better, your commitment, your relationship to Allah, your spiritual level increases, you have to establish regular times for remembering Allah. There is a minimum amount of remembrance of Allah that you have to do all the time, but you can do as much as you want. The minimum, as we know, you pray the fard with some Quran, but you have to pray a lot of nafilah with all Quran. Even you pray from the Mus'haf. It's only in Salah fard you cannot read from the Mus'haf. But if you are making qiyam at night, or you're praying in any nafilah, any extra prayers, you can open the Quran and read. It's fine. Just fard you can't. You have to pray the fard from what you know by heart. All other prayers, if you memorize some, fine. If you don't, you can read from the Quran and then think about it. Then the second one is you have to be consistent with the dua in the morning, in the evening. There are adiyah. In the morning, what you say? Oh Allah, I'm awake. I'm blessed to be awake. I'm grateful to you. You give me another day to thank you, to worship you. You have to say that every morning. And in the evening, I am going to, Ya Allah, I am going to lose my soul. You are going to take it away. If you hold it, forgive me. If you send it back, protect me. This is dua you have to say it every night you sleep. Say, I am surrendering. And my soul is going to be leaving me to you. If you hold it, means this is the end of it, forgive me. I don't want to come with my sin. If you send it back, protect me like the righteous people you protect. And so on and so forth. These are, you get to the masjid, you get to the salah, you get to the car, all of these that we must do it with conscience. That's where we are going to find different heart, different human being, different desires, different mentality, and we will find different life. Life full with happiness, even with starvation. Sahaba used not to eat too much, but were extremely happy in every minute in their life because of this. But you remember the khutbah where the Prophet used to tie a stone on his stomach because he doesn't care, he doesn't eat much. But what he's saying? He's saying, you people don't have enough food. One day you're gonna knock down all this Roman Empire. all this Persian Empire. Say, what are you talking about? We didn't have even food now. Yeah, hopeful, confidence, see the future, happiness. So, basically I can't emphasize, if you lack happiness, if you love to be happy in this life, verse 28, more than enough. If you want to be content, you want to be inspired, you want to have strong iman, you want to be so transparent where the Quran shake you and heart trembles when you hear it, you must do regularly remembrance of Allah with thinking, and do it over and over and over. That is the way is going to get rid of all these impurities and all these weeds, and the good things will grow and grow and grow, and you will have happiness no matter how are your conditions. Materialistic things does not bring happiness. You got to understand, societal rate in the rich is more than the poor. If you go and read, the people who commit suicide is the rich, not the poor. I mean, when you compare the percentage, very few. And the poor accepted their conditions and they live with it. But the wealthy are the one that high rate of suicide. Or tell me when of this superstar, rich, died naturally and normally. Tell me when. You read the stories. All of this with billions in Hollywood, his house 24 million been put to sale. All of them, none of them have died. Depression. They are in rehab and they end up in miserable. Materialistic things does not bring happiness. Remembrance of Allah, what truly bring true happiness.
And trust in Allah.
Well, طيب. So that is what I can say, but it is long, 28. So let's listen to it finally, and then we'll move on. Let's spend 1 hour on this. But really, I can't explain it to you. You have to experience it, okay? No matter what I explain to you, it might make sense or no. You have to try it. And I guarantee you, if you don't find this result, you come to me and ask me whatever, I will work my life as a servant to you. I guarantee you, you got to try it. That be consistent with remembrance of Allah and do it for a certain period of time. And if you tell me you have no effect, you come and I'm liable to and justify. Why? Because it is Allah said. So I know for sure it is there. If you did it the right way, it's Allah said. So I know it will be there. For sure. Now, okay, so listen to the 28 again.
Those who believed in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala and whose hearts find rest in the remembrance of Allah. Verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find tranquility, contentment, satisfaction.
That's enough. For sure. Certainly. That's what Allah is saying. In the remembrance of Allah, hearts. And now here we go. Who are you? It's what is in your heart. Who are you? It's what is in your heart. If your heart is full of love, compassion, helpfulness, generosity, hopefulness, iman, you are an angel. If your heart is filled up with filth, jealous, desires, greed, grief, concern, hatred, shirk, hypocrisy, you are evil. Really you are evil. And you don't know that. As also we said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so kind to us. Okay? We have two things that are really bad and we don't want them to be exposed. All of us. But Allah has given us means to conceal them in a beautiful way. Conceal them in the most beautiful way. One of them is the food here in my intestine. What is it? What is it? Can anybody defecate here? Unless he's insane or crazy. Why? You feel ashamed of it. And it is bad. And you don't want anybody to smell it, to be close to it. You go to the room and you close and you clean yourself. But Allah said, okay, you carry it here, but I will enable you to conceal it in most beautiful way. When you look at me, you never think there is filth here. You think of me, that person, and you like other qualities in the way I look and the way I talk, and you never thought, I am carrying, really, stool here in my hair. Here, it's here. Stink. Bad. I have no place for it except the bad things. And that's why Allah said, I enable you to show the beauty of you and to conceal the filth and the dirt and the bad of you. And the second one, you know what is it? Same thing, the heart. If I have access to know everything in your heart, you will be embarrassed. And you won't like it. And you will be ashamed of yourself. But Allah said, I also going to help you to conceal it in a beautiful way. So that is what we have to realize. Our value to Allah is what is in our heart. Our value in this life, what is in our heart. Our rank in the hereafter, what is in our heart. Who has the control over your heart now? Do I have control over your heart? Who has control over your heart? Only you. Who has access to your heart? Who knows what is in your heart? Only you and Allah. If the whole human come and try, we open your heart, what are we going to see in it? Nothing. But don't tell me there is nothing in it. It is filled. Wallahi, it is filled up with all these things that I'm taking to you. Who knows them? Who sends them? Who acts according to them? It is you.
You know, Shaykh, I heard at the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to cut the heart and show it to you.
Right. On the reality. All right. Anybody has any question? Is that... This is something practice. We have to, as I said, we have to take it into practice. We have to experience it. We have to start collecting some dhikr and every day read part of the Quran. You don't have to read it in prayers. We said Quran by itself is dhikr. Salah by itself is dhikr. The best if you put these two together. If you can't, that's fine. Read Quran and pray. With, as we said, as if you are driving this road for the first time. Imagine you drive a road for the first time. What is your feeling?
Cautious, you know.
Huh?
Cautious.
And here, all these things you are. Well, every time you come to pray or every time you read Quran, you have to put yourself as if you are getting that road for the first time. All right, let's go to the next 29.
Those who believed in the oneness of Allah Ta'ala and worked righteousness is for them a beautiful place of final return.